Hi, I'm Sterling Pratt again, the author of Puddinhead Parenting, How to Form a Positive Working Relationship with a Child with ADD. And I'm also the host of a blog talk radio show called Puddinhead Parenting, which airs Saturdays at 1 o'clock. This is the 6th video that I've released on a series about ADD and self-esteem. And we've talked so far in this video series about how children with ADD are especially vulnerable to damage to their self-esteem. That brings us to the question of today's video, which is the damage to self-esteem permanent? The emphatic answer is, it is never permanent. Experts on self-esteem all agree that the damage or the feelings, that negative feelings that make up our self-esteem are not permanent. They can be reframed and relocated in a different part of our brain so that they don't have the emotional impact that they used to. Again, self-esteem is made up of the feelings and the emotions that we have about ourselves. And these emotions are recorded as past experiences. So if I can take a past experience and put it into a different context and a different light, then that changes the emotional effect of that recorded experience or that memory. Let me give you a brief example from my family. When my youngest son was about 7 years old, we were at my uncle's ranch down in Mexico. And my daughter, who was about 10 years older than him, decided she was going to take him on a horseback ride, on his very first horseback ride. So he climbed up behind her on the horse, and she was a fairly experienced rider, but still the horse got spooked and both of them came off. Now her memories around horseback riding were already established, and so this traumatic event didn't affect her that much. But my son, being his only time, that was his one and only experience with horses, and so he actually experienced what we call a green stick fracture in his collarbone, and we were about 3 hours from civilization over a lot of bumpy roads, and it was an extremely painful experience for him just to get back to civilization, to get treatment from a doctor. And so years later, we were at a family reunion at another ranch, and they had horseback riding or trail riding, and he was petrified of it. And I talked him into coming out and just sitting on the horse, no pressure. You don't have to go if you don't want to, just try it out. So he did. He sat on the horse for a while. He was very nervous, and I didn't pressure him. And we started out on the trail ride, and at that point he decided to go. Still very nervous, very apprehensive. A few minutes out on the ride, he started to relax, and he started to play around a little bit. And by the time we got back, 15 and 20 minutes later, he was, riding that horse just like he had ridden some of the all-terrain vehicles he had grown up riding. So, in order to reframe these memories, we need a safe environment that I provided for my son in that situation. We need some patience, understanding, accepting their feelings about the experience, and some empathy as to what they're experiencing at that time. And then in that environment, we need to be able to give them successful experiences of the same thing that will replace, reframe, and relocate that previous bad experience. Just a question here about some tough ones. Sometimes people have very traumatic experiences and they're tough memories to reframe and relocate. Sometimes we have memories that it requires the work of a very skilled therapist or even some life coaches that specialize in that process of reframing our memories. But it can be done. And again, thanks for listening. Sterling Pratt. Any questions or comments, you can email me at sterling@addparentingsupport.com. Thanks.